In days of old, it paid to keep a close eye on your dinner guests. Eating could be extremely bad for your health, especially when the most efficient way to dispose of a rival or unwanted spouse was to poison them. The threat of poisoning ensured that loyal cooks were extremely well paid. It also meant that food tasters enjoyed limited long-term career prospects. No wonder the rich and famous were constantly searching for a reliable antidote to poison. Some people claim to have found it in clay. Since 550 BC, a special mineral clay had been ceremonially excavated from the island of Lemnos in the Mediterranean. The clay was processed into bite-sized tablets and sold across Europe. It was thought that a tablet dissolved in wine could protect against any poison. But did it really work? In 1581, people tried to find out. A condemned German criminal was given the choice of being hanged or to take a dose of poison along with a tablet of the special clay. Despite being given enough poison to kill 6 men, the prisoner survived. He was released a free man, and the clay's reputation as an antidote was confirmed. But one animal already knew about the detoxifying properties of a diet of clay. It can be found on the riverbanks of South America. Flying in to number 8 in the countdown is the macaw. These pretty parrots have found an extreme way to lick a poisonous problem. Every day, macaws eat clay, lots of clay. A parrot can eat 1/10 of its body weight each day, which is about the weight of a hamburger made of mud. For macaws, there's nothing strange about eating clay. It's both an appetizer and an antidote, for these birds are being poisoned. Macaws love eating seeds. The trouble is that many tropical plants don't like having their seeds stolen. That's why plants fill their seeds with incredibly poisonous alkaloids and tannins. It's a great defense, but it doesn't stop the macaw. Researchers believe that by eating clay, the parrot has found an antidote to the poisons. It's thought that the minerals in the clay bind with the seed's toxic substances, neutralizing the poison so that it passes harmlessly through the bird's digestive system. But if you thought that eating clay was just for the birds, think again. In Santa Monica, California, naturopathic physician Brian Retker believes that we could learn a lot from the macaw. But we don't have to visit a muddy riverbank. This homeopathic pharmacy stocks a most unusual remedy. Could a teaspoon of clay keep the doctor away? The theory is that, just like the macaw, when this special bentonite clay passes through our body, it absorbs impurities like heavy metals and pesticides that we're exposed to every day. And some tests have shown that clay may have other beneficial effects.
Well, they took some bacteria and they put it in a beaker and grew it, and they put bentonite clay in that beaker. There was water in the beaker, and within 90 to 120 minutes it removed almost 100% of all the bacteria that was in there was adsorbed into the clay and no longer present in the liquid. So it has tremendous properties to absorb toxins. Bon appetit. Good.
If just 1 teaspoon of clay works wonders for us, just imagine the benefits for a macaw. They can eat up to 20 teaspoons of clay every day. But if you find the macaw's diet a little hard to swallow, get ready for some serious indigestion when you see what's on the menu for our next extreme eater. The next contender in our countdown of extreme eaters is one animal that takes mealtimes very seriously.
Are you having a good time, Grandpa? Don't bother me. I'm busy.
We've already seen birds eating chunks of clay, but there's another parrot that likes its food rock hard. And if you think that sounds a little fishy, you're right, because the next parrot is actually the parrotfish. It gets its name because its front teeth are fused together like a parrot's beak. The parrotfish is number 7 in the countdown because it uses its beak to break off tiny pieces of stony coral. The skeleton of reef-building corals is as hard as rock and about as appetizing. But a parrotfish will eat up to 4,000 mouthfuls of rock every day. It grinds up the coral using specialized teeth in the back of its throat, for it's not after the rock, but the animals that made it. The corals you see on the reef are actually houses for thousands of tiny animals. Looking like miniature sea anemones, they use their tiny tentacles to feed on plankton drifting past in the water. Coral is actually a living rock, and it's the cells of these coral polyps that are food for the parrotfish. Just as you can't make an omelet without breaking eggs, you can't eat polyps without getting a beakful of rock. That's why every day, parrotfish can chew their way through more than 2 kilograms of rock. While most people could never stomach such an extreme diet, it could tempt the taste buds of one Lithuanian woman. This is the house of a human parrotfish. When Stanislava Montvelina pops out to get her lunch, she doesn't go to a supermarket. Stanislava likes to eat dirt. We may think that eating dirt is kind of, well, dirty. But eating earth is far more common than you'd expect. Surveys have found that as many as 50% of adult women in rural areas of the American South had eaten at least 50 grams of dirt in the previous 2 weeks. Some think they're satisfying a craving for minerals lacking in their normal diet. However, human parrotfish face real dangers because eating the wrong type of dirt can actually cause malnutrition. Real parrotfish have no such problems because all the rock they eat passes straight through them and comes out as fine white sand. Each year, a parrotfish can produce a ton of coral sand. So the next time you're on vacation in the tropics, just remember that you're sitting on lovely white parrotfish droppings.